Where does Los Angeles begin? One way to answer that question is to pinpoint the beginning of our infrastructure. That's why I'm standing here at the confluence of the Los Angeles River and the Arroyo Seco, because this is that exact spot of the birthplace of our infrastructure. But I'm getting ahead of myself. In 1769, 12 Spanish explorers made their way up from Mexico through California. One of the places they stopped was right here at the confluence. They marveled at its beauty and saw that this could be potentially a pueblo. And we know that because we have access to their travel journal, and I have a quote here. I'll read it real quick. "We entered a very spacious valley, well grown with cottonwoods and alders, among which ran a beautiful river from the north-northwest. Towards the north-northeast, there is another riverbed which forms a spacious watercourse, but we found it dry. Dry, or in Spanish, Arroyo Seco, dry creek, dry wash." Jump to 1781, the year the Pueblo of Los Angeles is founded. 44 people make their way up from Mexico and found the Pueblo of Los Angeles. And that first piece of infrastructure that I talked about was right here. It was a dam. They dammed part of the LA River, and that water fed the Pueblo. Next door, we have this green bridge. That green bridge is a legacy of the Southern Pacific Railroad. They made their connection in 1876. LA was then connected to the Transcontinental Railroad and brought in people, it brought in goods, and it really allowed Los Angeles to grow to 1.5 million people in 1938. 1938, that same year, we had a terrible flood, an incredibly destructive flood. We actually have footage of the flood. If we look over here, we can see just how devastating the waterway of the LA River was. Just millions of dollars worth of damage. So the city leaders knew they had to do something about it. So they contacted the Army Corps of Engineers. And the Army Corps employed 17,000 people to lay 2 million cubic yards of concrete along all 51 miles of the LA River. While they were doing that, the 110 freeway was being built. The first freeway west of the Mississippi was being built. We also call it the Arroyo Seco Parkway. And it's called that because it follows the path of the Arroyo Seco. It goes all the way up into Pasadena. And that's interesting because that is the same path that the Native Americans took for thousands of years. Because it was a dry creek, it was an easy pathway up to what we now know as the San Gabriel Valley. And that's the interesting thing with the confluence, is that there are just these layers of different forms of infrastructure. I mean, it really has just been this corridor, this transportation corridor of goods, of people, of water, everything just flowing through here. We have the 5 Metrolink, Gold Line, just everything growing out. That's really just the legacy of the confluence as the birthplace of Los Angeles.